Gorley. Well, I'm a night owl, as we know, and it's rather interesting because we had rain and all our lights went off, and so I hit the sack a little earlier, but then a potential coaching client notified me. Uh, it's crazy when it's time for integration, when it's time to level up, how we allow fear to stop us from our greatest growth by making excuses why we can't be better for ourselves. Now, what's interesting, I'm in the dark, but I do a friendly flashlight. Flashlight because the flashlight is kind of like, I hope you guys can see a tile, and it is a metaphor. Uh, I thought I would come on because it's nothing else to do. I can't play with any of my toys because I have no electricity. I have a flashlight, my phone, and I don't have any internet because everything is down. But I thought we could have a conversation in the dark. And so I was just saying that I had a client, potential client for a session, and it's been really interesting since COVID because I've been having a lot of sessions with men and women because we're in some interesting times. And um, I pretty much messaged him and let him know that I have scheduled and all that. When people really want to heal, they will do what it takes. Sometimes you won't find them making excuses why they can't. And feminine energy. And it's in balance. We can be true to ourselves. But what I feel that we all are feeling in the dark with, um, I mentioned today, I think I mentioned that I was going to be having a segment with one of my uh, dear people that is a professor, and he actually did a conference last week. Is about attendance of about 10,000 people. And the one thing that he said that they really talked about touch, but the essence of the conference is about connection. And you can't have connection without touch. You can't have touch without connection. They kind of work together and uh, united in each other, just like the masculine and the feminine energy should be working together. So, I mean, he told me his story with some fee, and I hear it. And what being that they will flip switch on you on a regular basis, and you don't really know if you're coming and going is really crazy because I want you guys to understand it's not you. Because when a person flips a switch on you, when you're trying to communicate Um, that's that's their internal conflict with themselves. I get amazed at how people convey their integrity and the people that they are, but they can't sit in a room and have a, how can I say it, loving conversation with each other and share how each of them, each of us feel. And why are we in the dark with this? Loaded. Why can't we see beyond the shadows to bring complete healing and restoration to us all? Thing I know I spoke to him about is that's one thing that we are struggling with as a human race. We are struggling with how we communicate to each other when we are disappointed in each other. We're living in such a world that is so anti communicate. Let's talk. Let's connect. Let me understand you so you can understand me. We're not doing this. And so as I was dealing with this gentleman, it is interesting because rather than find a resolution, we find excuses to resolve our excuses rather than, and what gets me too is like, I constantly hear this energy of masculine, masculine, feminine, feminine. Well, yeah, I know is it's hard for all of us. Um, when I sat with my friend and we had this discussion, he told me the story he went through. And he told me this went on for 2 years. And people are psychologically in disorder. And it's a silent disorder. And rather than seek help and find a solution for their personal health, emotional, mental, spiritual, etc., etc., instead of finding a solution by going to a therapist, seeking for a coach, someone to help them. Because all a therapist and a coach does is they're like the fly on the wall. And they kind of allow you to have expression so you can see your own behavior. And it's so crazy because as I was talking to my friend, because this gaslighting him, she was she would talk to him any kind of way. I don't understand. We are human beings here on this earth to have a human experience, but instead of being humanly, we're hurting each other as humans. And that is a conflict of interest. Because if we can't lovingly talk to each other, why are we engaging? Why draw someone into your world so you can terrorize their spirit? And I really believe, to be honest with you, people who do that, it's deeper than psychological. They're in spiritual warfare and spiritual conflict with themselves. Somewhere in their childhood or in their adult life, they open their spirit up to darkness. And they come into a world just to mow down souls. How they survive? By connecting with you. And as they connect with you, goal is to find you vulnerable, rape you emotionally clean. And what is so frightening, because I had someone on one of my posts actually outright said he was a narcissist, and he was trying to tell me how a narcissist act. That's how insane that behavior is, that you're actually proud of being a demon. like like literally, it's a possession. It's a possession. Something has taken your mind, because what narcissism is, it's a succubus. And a succubus, all it does, it feeds off humanity. So as I'm talking to him, I can see, here's this educated college professor doing conferences of 10,000 or more, and he gets caught up with this chick that is out of control. It broke my heart. It broke my heart. Because not only are men going through this, women are going through this. It is, and I wish I could tell people, like, he's not very spiritual. And so I was just letting him talk. But I don't worry about stuff so much with that anymore, because I know I'm divinely protected. I know I have an angel, and God is my witness. Every man that has been trifling with me, they have had to deal with it. I don't have to say a thing. I just move on, and it wasn't always like that. But I know who I am. I respect who I am. And if you don't treat me like I would treat you, I will move on. I will not let you um, put an invisible chain around my mind and my heart. You can't do that. Life is too valuable. My life is too valuable. And this is what I'm trying to show a lot of my clients, is just like, know your incredible value. And one thing that my friend said, he said that he didn't even realize, but in hindsight, he was getting signs. Hey, how are you? Waldo, how are you doing? Thank you for watching. Um, it it just, it just really amazes me, because he said, now that he looks back, he didn't even, and he said it was like craziness. She was like changing. I think I told you guys a few months ago that I got a letter from someone, and that letter, I actually had my therapist look at it. because I think everybody should have a therapist on call. I'm just saying, even though I coach, but I go to a therapist also because I think sometimes it's necessary. And the reason I go to therapists, I even taught that to my children because sometimes you need a witness to what you're seeing because you don't even believe it. And I remember when I showed my therapist. Thank you. Thank you. That's so sweet. Thank you. And I remember when I showed my therapist, I actually showed my therapist the letter, and she goes, "You know what? It was not a letter, it was actually an email, but she goes, "You know what? You need to run like hell. Run like hell." Because guess what I just found out too? I just found out from in fact, I think I found out this tonight because my friend that just went through the situation, his brother is a psychologist. And people that have empathy, that care about people, those are the people that most likely end up having an encounter with someone that's narcissist. And so, what you have to do is just know your value, know your worth. And I know, you guys, I know it's real painful when somebody's come and rip through your life and your spirit like a Tasmanian devil. You are so shuffled. You're trying to figure out what just happened to you. What did you do wrong? And whatever. You're just constantly doubting yourself. But what I would say to you is don't doubt yourself. Trust yourself. Trust the process that you have done the work. Trust the process that you know your worth, you know your value, you know who you are. And I feel that once you weed that out, you can begin to heal as a divine masculine, as a divine feminine. We can all heal and be strong individuals that we can help others. Because some of you guys that will fall upon this channel are probably called to a mission. And sometimes you have to deal with these people that are succubus in order to be a healer to other people. And I know it's hard because you have to be that example and you have to be that one that uh learns through those lessons so you can help people in a better way. But it's like really, really crazy that we live in a world like this. And because right now we're in spiritual warfare, you have to be very, 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 very careful who you give your time to. And make sure you keep good people around you because they keep you centered. And what you see, you can discuss it with them. And I know with my letter, I work around people all the time. And I have some really good people in my chair. I have clients, doctors, lawyers, everything, right? And I remember like when I got my letter, I literally did kind of like a mini survey. They didn't know I was surveying, but I had like maybe three or four people read the letter and the email that I got just to get their response. And I didn't really want to believe that letter was just so horrific. I couldn't even read it all. I never really read it all, but my therapist read it all the way through. And I just couldn't believe that someone could be that that hurtful. And does that mean I need to be hurtful? No. No, it doesn't mean I need to be hurtful. You know what that means? It means I kindly walk away and continue in my integrity and be kind and loving like I see myself and like I do with my neighbors and I do with my friends and I do with my family. Who I'm going to be. I'm not going to be anything other. So that's why I'm saying know your worth, know who you are. Just know who you are. Keep good people around you. And I know it's hard because when you're going through something like that, you don't want nobody to know because it's embarrassing. It really is embarrassing. You know, telling people that, you know, the person that you love doesn't truly love you because talk is cheap, action is valuable. And it's so interesting as he was talking to me, I could relate to him. And I think if you've been on this earth for some time, I think you can relate to everyone. I think it's relatable. So I really appreciate you guys coming on for Scorpio After Dark. I will say this again. We had a rainstorm and our lights went out, and I have no electricity. I have a little small flashlight, and I felt maybe I will on because actually, my friend over here when the lights went off, and so he got ready to go. And when he got ready to go, I said, you know what? I'm gonna come have a chat. And it is so sad that we have to watch the battles of the masculine and the feminine energy, but I really believe that we can heal each other. I really believe. And one thing that we talked about is touch, like touching, feeling the essence of this is what he said. He said, the feeling of the essence of feminine energy, how she touches his skin and touches his body. That's connection. And when we have connection, we touch. When we touch, we feel connected. If I can tell you anything, connect with your actions, not with your words. Because your words are fleeting, they will flow in the ether. But a gentle touch combined with a connection will stay in your memory and in your chakras a lifetime. People who hurt others are hurting themselves. And if we can just take a little time and give ourselves to each other, we can raise the vibration. We can put a smile on someone's face. You can have intimacy. Intimacy is a valuable currency that you cannot buy. Yeah, you can have sex, a roll in the hay, That's free. You can do that free. Anybody can find that. But not everyone can find intimacy. Not everyone can find unconditional. I absolutely adore you guys for allowing me to have expression and allowing me to be me. I wasn't expecting to come on tonight, but I'm so thankful that I did because you guys are wonderful people. And I have my struggles too. I am so proud to know you. And I'm so appreciative of you guys that leave your comments because they really matter to me because you matter. So I will say to you, good night. Like my page, share it with someone, hit the bell because it will help more people see my content. Because you never know what I'm going to do. I'm a Scorpio, and a lot of things that I do is by how I feel. So be precious, be alive, and thank you. Night, night.